Good afternoon, friends. Today I am going to take this session on the parliamentary system base. So we are doing the polity session. In the polity sessions, we have done with the rights. Okay, we have done with the fundamental rights, DPSPs, fundamental duties. Okay, and after those we have seen the amendment of the constitution. After the amendment of the constitution, we have seen the basic structure of the constitution. So right now I am going to take the governance parts, like the system of government. Okay, so we have adopted the parliamentary form of government. So the topic for today's discussion is parliamentary system. Parliamentary system. Okay guys, so we have adopted the parliamentary form of government. So ours is a parliamentary form of government. So this we have taken from the UK guys. This we have taken from the UK. So ours is the parliamentary form of government. Okay, so this provision we have taken from the Britain. Okay, so in the parliamentary form of government also we are having the many models. In that we have taken Westminster model. What guys? Westminster model. Westminster model is the parliamentary form of government. This we have taken from the British. So guys, different countries are having different form of government. Okay, different countries are having different form of government. So mainly we are going to see the parliamentary form of government and the presidential form of government. So what exactly the parliamentary form of government and what exactly the presidential form of government, that we are going to see. And ours is an parliamentary form of government. Ours is a parliamentary form of government. So we go for the parliamentary system guys. We go for the parliamentary form of system. So in this we have taken from the British, that is UK, called as Westminster model. Now we will see what are the unique features that present in this model, in this Westminster model. So if you see the first and the foremost important, that is bicameralism. That is bicameralism. Okay, so what do you mean by bicameralism? Bicameralism is nothing but having the two houses of the parliament. Okay, so the parliament is having the two houses. It is called as the lower house and the upper house. Lower house and the upper house. Okay, so the lower is house is called as the house of commons. Commoners. Okay, the upper is called as the house of lords. Okay guys, so in this manner we are having the house of commons and the house of lords in the bicameralism in Britain, in the British constitution. Whereas if you see this equivalent provisions in our Indian constitution, in our parliamentary form of government, actually we are not having the lower house or the upper house. So we are having the lower house as simply we have made it as lower house. Means in speaking we have making it as a lower house and upper house. But in reality we are not having the lower house and the upper house. We are having the Lok Sabha. Lok Sabha. So the lower house is called as Lok Sabha and the upper house is called as the Raj Sabha. Raj Sabha. Okay. So exactly the termination, exactly the words that are used in the constitution for the Lok Sabha is also not Lok Sabha guys. That is House of People's Representation. See guys, what a beautiful words. A house of, it is the House of People's Representation. So this is a terminology used in our constitution for the Lok Sabha guys. Okay, in Lok Sabha they have used this House of People's Representation. Okay, for the Rajya Sabha they have said it is Council of States. Council of States. Guys, these provisions we are having in Constitution. Actually, we are not having the lower house and the upper house. We are having the Lok Sabha, that is the House of People Representation, and we are having the Rajya Sabha, that is Council of States. Okay, this is the unique feature of the Westminster model, guys. That is bicameralism. That is unique. What you guess? Unique feature. So if you see second provision is called as the responsibility. Responsible government. Okay, guys? Responsible government. Responsible government. Okay, so what responsible government is? That we can say that executive, I can say that executive is responsible, or we can say that answerable to legislative. Okay, so this is provision we are having. So responsible government is the executive is responsible or answerable to the legislative. Okay, so this we are having as provision, guys. Executive is responsible or answerable to the legislative. We should have answer to the legislative. That is, executive is answerable to the legislative. Means this clearly indicates that we are not having the strict separation of powers. We are not having the strict separation of powers. Okay, so that we are going to see while we comparing the presidential form of government and the parliamentary form of government. Okay, guys. So this we have in executive is responsible or the answerable to the legislative. And the last one, that is the unique feature of this model, is that is the cabinet is the nucleus of the power. Cabinet is the nucleus of the power. Okay, so the power exists in the cabinet. The power exists in the cabinet is said that is the nucleus. See, guys, we are having the prime minister. Prime minister is the head of the government. Okay, after the prime minister we are having the cabinet. Okay, so cabinet, after cabinet we are having the council of ministers. After the council of ministers we are having the ministers of independent charge. Okay, like this we are having atomic structure, guys. It is atomic structure. So this nucleus, this we call it as nucleus, guys. Okay, I think you people are remembering. Okay, this is called nucleus. So cabinet, this cabinet plays a very, very important role in the power, guys. Okay, nucleus of the cabinet is the nucleus of the power. These are the three provisions that are having in the Westminster model, guys. Okay, this in the parliamentary form of government. Now I will take my discussion to the presidential form of government. Okay, so guys, then our forefathers have thought that which one to be taken into our consideration, like whether we go for the parliament or the president form of the parliament or the president's form of government. Okay, then they have confusion, so which one to be taken, and finally they adapted the parliamentary form of government with some changes, guys. Okay, this is about the Westminster model, and these are the important provisions we are having. Okay, we are having this provision, and also this in our parliament, guys. Okay, now I will take my discussion to the second one, guys. That is the presidential form of government. So how the presidential form of government is different from the parliamentary form of government. Okay, so if I take the presidential form of government, in presidential form the executive dominates. The executive dominates the form of government. Okay, guys. So see, guys, I am taking the presidential form of government. Okay, so previous we have seen the parliament form of government, now presidential form of government. So in the president's form of government, if you see, guys, simply we are having the two form of governments, like I said, the parliament and the president. So in the parliament I said that, so the examples of the parliament is the UK. So at this time we need to decide which one we go for. So the UK is having the parliament. Okay, so whereas the US is having the presidential form of government. Okay, the UK is having the parliament, and the US is having the presidential form of government. But the common between both of them is they both are following the democracy. Okay, see, democracy means they have elected by the people. They have been elected by the people. Means whether you go for the parliamentary form of government, whether you go for the presidential form of government. Okay, it is the only government that exists. Okay, but the election is taken place by the people. See guys, so here in the US, the Trump, that is the president, will be elected by the people. So so within 1 year we are going, they are going to have the presidential elections. Means this, if they are electing by the people, it is democracy. So in the UK also they are electing by the people, guys. Okay, they are electing by the people, but we have some different criteria in the UK, guys, that we are going to discuss. Okay, the head of the state is monarchy, guys. Okay, so only the head here is having the monarchy. Okay, so this is the presidential form of government. So we are going to see its features, guys. So if you see, the presidential form of government, in the presidential form of government, the head is the executive dominance. Executive dominance. Okay, head is the executive dominance. Okay, guys. So the dominance will be of executive. Means we are having the president at the state, and we are having the president. We are having the president is the head of state and government. So what do you mean by state and the government? Government is the take care about the functioning of the government, or we can, or the state means, guys, state and the government, if you describe the functioning, all the functionings will be taken care by the government. Okay, so government means the parliament. Simply we can say parliament, and the president is the head of the state and the government. So guys, state means, so any action, any legal action, anything that will be taken in the name of the state. But guys, simply the government will run the state. The government will run the state, but all things will be taken in the name of the state. Okay, who is going to take that person? Okay, so every matters will be taken in the name of the state head. Okay, but it will be run by the government, guys. Okay, this we will discuss when we go for detailed discussion of the parliamentary form of government in India, guys. Okay, so it is the executive dominance and the president head of state and government. Okay, here the legislative, that is the executive is not responsible. Executive is not responsible to legislative. Okay, so executive is not responsible to legislative. It means we are having the strict separation of power between legislative, executive and judiciary. We are having the strict separation of power. Means they are going to function their function, executive is going to function their function, the judiciary is going to operate independently. So, but we are having the parliamentary form of system is having the executive is responsible to the legislative. But here no, guys. This work will be done by this work will be done by this, and this work will be done by this. It is independent. That is called as strict separation of powers. Strict separation of powers between the legislative, executive and the judiciary in the presidential form of government. Okay, so these are the provisions that we are having the president form of government and parliamentary form of government. Now I am going to take my discussion in depth about our form of government. So what are the provisions that are having in our Indian parliamentary form of government? So ours is the prime minister's form of government. Generally we are not having the term prime minister's form of government, but we have adapted, guys. We have adapted. Ours is the prime ministerial government, because everything in our country will be run by the prime minister. Okay, means simply he is called as the first among equals. Okay, so this prime minister government forms the between, that is the middle between the parliamentary form of government and the presidential form of government. Why? Because in the parliamentary form of government, so we are having the state and the government, guys. So in our country we are having the state and the government. So the head of the state is president, while the head of the government is prime minister. So first among among equals is primus inter alas. Okay, like we are having a, so primus inter alas, that is primus means first, inter alas means among equals. Okay, so first among equals, primus inter alas. So this prime minister is the first among the equals, that is he is called as prime minister government. This we have habituated, means that this we have created or we have made it as prime minister form of government, guys. Okay, then because prime minister form of, guys, as I said that in the presidential form of government we are having the strict separation between legislative, executive, judiciary. But whereas in parliamentary form of government, the executive is the responsible to the judicial, the executive is the responsible to the legislature. We have taken the prime minister form of government because the prime minister here is the executive. Okay, because he is the minister and he is the legislative, guys. Okay, he is an legislative. Okay, that's why it is the between the parliamentary form of government and the presidential form of government, guys. Okay, so this is about the prime minister government that we have made in our parliamentary system, guys. So let us see the provisions of the our Indian parliamentary form of government. Okay, so if you see our Indian parliamentary form of government, we are having the, that is the state head and the government head. We are having the real head and nominal head. Okay, so the real head is the prime minister, real head is the prime minister, nominal head is the president. Real head is the prime minister and the nominal head is the president. So he is the head of the government, he is the head of the state. Okay, so this distinction we are having in our parliamentary form of government. So the real will be prime minister and he is the head of the government, whereas the nominal will be president, he is the head of the state. Means every transaction will be takes place in the name of the president, but it will run by the parliament. Everything that will take in the name of the president, in the name of the president, everything that is any international matters, any financial matters, any revenue matters, all these things will be taken in the name of the president, but it will run by the prime minister. This is first thing we are having, that is the real executive and the nominal executive. And second one, the council of ministers are responsible to the Lok Sabha. Council of ministers, we can say that article 75, they are responsible to Lok Sabha. So simply we can say that if all the council of ministers will sing, then the government will fall. Okay, if all the council of ministers will resign, or if they are out of their duty, then they fall and we go for the no confidence motions. We have no confidence motion. If they can't prove the majority in the parliament, then they have to down their government, guys. Okay, that's why council of ministers means it is not individual duty, it is a collective duty. They are responsible to the Lok Sabha, guys. Okay, this provision we are having in our constitution. And the third one is the majority rule. Okay, majority rule means whoever gets the majority. So if any party gets the majority, then only they are going to rule. So that is 273, guys. Okay, so we are having the seats, that is 545. Out of 45, who get the 273 plus, they are going to form the majority rule. Okay, they are going to form the government, and the second largest party will become the opposition party, guys. 273 plus should have to form the government. That is majority rule we are having, guys. Okay, that is the responsible government. And the one more, the fourth one is the responsible government. Guys, ours is the responsible government. So these are the provisions that we are having in our parliamentary system of government. That is, we have the real and the nominal executive, and we have the council of ministers responsible to the government, and to the Lok Sabha, and we have the majority rule. We have the majority rule. Okay, that is responsible government, guys. Okay, and we are having the coalition government also, guys. We can have the coalition government also. So what do you mean by coalition government? When we are unable to get 275, the some parties will join and they form the government. It's called as the coalition government, guys. Okay, it's called as the coalition government rule. Okay, guys. So this is about the our parliamentary system of government. Guys, clear? That is responsible government, the majority rule, council of ministers, and the real head and the nominant executive, guys. So, and one more thing we are having, guys, that is the the fifth one. We can take it as the dissolution of the lower house. Dissolution of the lower house. So what do you mean by dissolution of the lower house? So dissolution of the lower house means, guys, for every 5 years we are having elections. Why? Because so people only going to elect the government. People only going to elect the government. So if they feel that the previous government have done well to them, they again vote for that government and they only can become as the majority rule. So if they feel not, they means if they feel that they are not doing well, they vote for the some other government and some other government will come and exist, guys. Okay, so like that the dissolution of the lower house for every 5 years, whereas the Rajya Sabha, that is the upper house. So we have the upper house is the permanent house. Upper house is the permanent house, guys. Here we need to consider two things. Okay, dissolution of the lower house. So the period of the lower house is 5 years, and the members of the lower house is also 5 years in general. But the period of the permanent, the upper house is the permanent. So the period is permanent. The members of the upper house will be elected for 6 years. Will be elected for the 6 years. Keep in mind, guys. Okay. So the dissolution of the lower house may reduce also, guys. Generally 5 years it may reduce because of the any instability in the government. It may also extend because of any emergency also. Okay, this is about the parliamentary form of government that we are having. So now I am taking my discussion why we have opted this parliamentary form of government. So what is the need to have this parliamentary form of government in our country, guys? So if you see few provisions, these are made to form the our parliamentary form of government. So why parliamentary? Why parliamentary form of government? If we see why parliamentary form of government, the first and foremost states that due to familiarity, due to familiarity of the government, because the British people has ruled us, guys. So we have adapted to that form of government. That's why it makes us easy to run this form of government. That is familiarity of the government. And second one, if you see, that is the responsible, guys. Responsible government. That is the executive is responsible to the legislative. Executive is responsible to the legislative. Okay. And after that, that is ready government. That is ready government. We can say that it is an ready government, because if there is any fall in the present government, so if any people, any opposition parties or any independent party coalition, they collate and they show that if they have the majority, then they can form the government. This provision we can't see in the presidential form of government, guys. For example, right now we are having the Narendra Modi government. If any issue has happened and the government has been collapsed, then any other party members, if those are having the 273 plus, then they can form the government, guys. It is called as ready government, guys. Okay. And the one more thing is, our makers want to give the wider representation. Okay, wider representation in the elections. We will see we are having the wider representation, guys. Whereas the presidential form of government is not having that much of wider representation in its elections. Okay, we are having the wider representation and not to give the power in the single hand. Okay, not to give power in the single hand. Okay, not to give power in single hand. Okay, if you see the president form of government, that is only prime minister, guys. Sorry, only president. But whereas if you see that prime minister, council of ministers, okay, and the presidents, all those going to consider in the parliamentary form of government, guys. That's why for these reasons we have gone for the parliamentary form of government, guys. Now I will discuss something on the criticism of the government. Okay, discuss something on the criticism of the government, guys. That is last topic for today's discussion. So for everything we should have the criticism, guys. So without criticism we can't end our session, guys. Okay, so if you see the criticism, the first and foremost criticism is that it is a slow process. Slow process, guys. Even though this process is slow, this is an efficient process. Even though the process is slow, this is an efficient process to be taken, guys. So the parliament, if you form any bill, we need to pass both houses. We have many issues and all those things, guys. Okay, so that's why it is somewhat some slow process in the its administration, guys. Okay, guys, clear? It is slow process, and it says that it is cabinet eclipse. Cabinet eclipse. So cabinet eclipse means it will be issued with the when coalition format. Okay. So guys, when we are having the majority rule, then it is okay. That is 273 plus. So what if we are not having the majority rule? What if we are not having the majority rule? Then we go for the coalition government. So again, the coalition government will issue the instability. Okay, instability form of government, guys. Okay. So if the coalition will form, then we will go for the okay, so unstable government will form, guys. So the cabinet eclipse. So cabinet eclipse means if the council of minister falls or the sin, then they go for the coalition government. It will form the instability, guys. Okay, and the important is discontinuity of policies. So what do you mean by discontinuity of policies, guys? We go for the ads. We go for the making ads in the parliament, okay, or any policy, that is the example nation education policy and all the things. So if the policy has came to some extent, we have the Lok Sabha, we have the Rajya Sabha, and we have the president. Okay, if the president sign, then the bill becomes the ad. So ultimately it has have been Lok Sabha, but it has been not passed in the Rajya Sabha. Okay, then what happens, guys? If it is passed in the Lok Sabha, it is not passed in the Rajya Sabha, but the term is 5 years completed. Then again this bill we need to introduce in the next government. That is discontinuity of policies. Policies includes all the executive policies or the legislative policies. This is the loophole, guys. Okay, again this act whatever we have introduced or passed in the Lok Sabha should again pass in the next government only. Okay, we are going to see about the laws, that is when it will form deadlock, all those things in separate session, guys, during our bills session. Okay, so discontinuity of the policies. So these are the criticism of the parliamentary form of government, guys. Okay, so whenever we see this, when someone asks Ambedkar what exactly wants you people for as a parliamentary system of government, that is he used to say only one thing, that is stable government, guys. Okay, stable government. Only stable government is his target. Stable government with democracy. Democracy is form of government, and the stable government is to answer by the Ambedkar when anyone asks you to what is your exactly aim or target, guys. Okay, this is the exactly parliamentary system of government. Okay, guys, in this I want to discuss a small content, guys. Okay, so if you see UK we are having the monarchy, guys. So UK and the India. Okay, so in India, if you see our constitution, ours is a republic head. Okay, guys, parliament means we have different type of parliaments. That ours is also parliament or the UK's is also parliament. But the way of electing the head is different. Okay, guys, so ours is also parliament. Okay, the Indian is also parliament. Okay, so whereas the US it is presidential. Okay, The ours is the parliament, it is also parliament. But the way we are going to electing the head of the state is different. So here we are having the monarchy. Okay, means the head of the state is the monarchy. Means he is not elected. He is not elected. Okay guys, clear? Whereas here we are not having the monarchy, we are having the republic. Okay, because here we are going to elected, means we are electing the president. Okay, when we are electing the head of the state, electing whom? Head of state. Head of state. So here also head of state. So when we are electing the head of the state, it is called as the republic. This is the nature of our constitution. If you see our nature of our constitution, the preamble, sovereign, socialist, secular, democratic, republic. Ours is a republic form of government. Means we elected the head of the state. Okay, that is India. Whereas in UK, they are not elected, they are having not elected, they have the monarchy guys. Monarchy as the head of the state. With this, I am closing my session on the parliamentary system of government guys. So the next topic for the discussion is federal structure. What do you mean by federal system guys? Okay, thank you one and all.